Singular writes, Dear Harry, dudes, how are you learning so many songs on the tour? I saw you play 2 nights in a row and all different songs both nights. Great question. Before I directly answer that, I want to start by clarifying that dudes is a plural term meant to address all of my viewers at one time. If there were only one person viewing, I would probably just say mom. Here's my opinion, singular. You don't have to know much about a song to play it nearly perfectly on the drums. You really only have to know 3 things. Number 1, where the stops are. Number 2, whether those stops are sustained or choked. And number 3, to throw dynamics and rhythmic nuance into one general category, we'll say you need to know the stylistic changes throughout the tune. These 3 rules are especially true in pop and country, which are the 2 genres I make my living playing. And here's the great news, Mom. Apparently some dude named Nashville invented a number system that allows us to document those 3 aspects of a song in just one listen. I guess he was an egomaniac because it's called the Nashville Number System. Here's how it works, starting with the ground rules. The name of the game here is keeping track of where you are in the song based on chord progression. So every note you make about what to do is going to be defined in terms of what chord is happening at the time that that note matters. And don't worry, the farther we get into this, the more context you'll have and the more sense it'll make. So each possible chord you can find in basically any song is going to get assigned an Arabic numeral from 1 to 7. This escalator is so noisy I had to overdub. Anyway, I'm just saying if you're having trouble hearing these intervals, I've recommended some apps below that'll whip your ears into shape. So that's the fundamental idea. You hear a chord, you write down its corresponding scale degree number. The only other ground rule is that by default, each chord number you write down lasts for 1 bar, or 4 beats. So let's set up a chart and show. So let's set up a chart and I'll show you what it looks like so far. Now I think in the 1590s BC when they invented this system, they were using physical ink and paper to write this stuff out, but nowadays you have options like an electronic tablet, or your girlfriend if she doesn't mind getting marked on by Sharpie. Personally, I like this app called Paper because you can organize your charts based on what artist they're for, you can use a bunch of different colors for special markings, and it's backlit in case you're trying to read them in a dark studio or stage setting. Anyway, for starters, I recommend at least throwing on the name of the song and as reliable a tempo references you can conjure. If you're no good with BPM, you could also just write down the name of a song with a similar tempo and feel to get you in the neighborhood. For example, lots of dance songs end up having a similar tempo and feel to the Michael Jackson Billie Jean. Now the entire rest of this page is reserved for your chord numbers that we just talked about. So check it out, dudes. If you hear a 1, 5, 6 minor, 4 for 1 bar each, then you write down a 1, 5, 6 minor, 4. That's going to give you your basic structure for most any song you hear on the radio. Now we can start adding the wheels that give you the details. Alright, so first of all, how do you deal with chords that don't appear in the major scale? Like a G natural in the key of E. Since G sharp is 3 in E, we call G natural flat 3. Since we're always going to use numbers from the major scale to describe songs, you'll see the occasional flat 3, flat 6, and flat 7s in your number charting journeys because those chords aren't uncommon, especially in a minor key scenario. One other question about chords. What if you hit a hybrid chord or the bass is playing a note outside of whatever chord you're hearing? You can just write it out like a fraction. Put the chord on top and the bass note on the bottom. My favorite example of this is the 1/7. Alright, so I've told you everything you need to know about identifying the chords, so let's talk about how to describe their timing now. So a number on its own means a full bar of that chord, but how do you cram, say, 2 chords in a bar? It's called a split bar. You just write 2 chords out and underline them to indicate they each get 2 beats instead of 4. Check it. My shadow's all in one that walks beside me. My shallow heart's the only thing that's beating. If the chords come at you twice as fast, just add another underline. This works just like stems on rhythmic notation. Check it out. I'd like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep, 'cause everything is never as it seems. Okay, the other super common rhythmic distinction you'll need to be able to make is which chords are happening right on the beat and which chords hit as anticipations, as in an 8th note before the downbeat. These are called pushed chords in the number system, so you'll just give them a little sideways carrot top to show that. Check it out. It doesn't make sense to anybody else. Who cares if you're all I think about? Onward to the last aspect of the number chart, your stylistic nuances. Okay, rapid fire Q&A. What if I come to a hard stop? Give it a carrot top. 'Cause you know where I'll be found when I come around. What if I need to hit a chord and sustain it? Give it a diamond. And I don't know how I can do What about chords I shouldn't be playing on? Give them parentheses.
Well, I was raised up beneath the shade of a Georgia pine, and that's home, you know. Sweet tea, pecan pie, and homemade wine, where the peaches grow, and my house sits not.
What if the time signature changes? Write the new time signature in just like you would in normal notation. What if I need to do anything else, like build up my volume or play a halftime feel or switch to the floor tom? Just write it in, dude. As long as you can understand what you're telling your future self to do, anything goes once you've got the right chords and the right timings. So dudes, hopefully this crash course has made some sense to you to get started on Nashville Numbers. Just to really nail it down, how's about I meet you back here in 2 weeks and we'll chart out a full song. Till then, thanks to Singular for the awesome question, and if any of you other dudes have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll see you next week. Adios, dudes.
It's what you said.